Back to you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Pono. So this is the first day of this program, and what we really want to do is get all of you folks getting to know each other, because we're going to work very closely together, and we're going to be working in teams. But what we're going to do, Sunny had a few more comments that he wanted to mention, and then we're going to break out into groups. And basically, you know, I would encourage you to go in whatever group you want to go into, but don't go with your friends. Don't go with people you know. Go with, you know, people you don't know. This is a great opportunity to start getting to know each other. And if you can talk about anything you want, frankly, but if you want to talk about the topics that Pono had raised, the questions he raised, that's a great way to start, because you're all here for you know, at least a few common reasons. But anyway, we're going to break into those groups, but please stick around, because there's more to the program at the end.
Just real quick, I just want to when Pono was saying something, it struck me what he was saying. The Spirit of Aloha, what we have here, I'm from DC, by the way. Yeah? So when in DC, the way we measure things is when we're driving on the road, and someone's trying to come in with a signal, you speed up to cut them off. And then you win. You win that battle for the day. Right? That's how it's cutthroat. It's everyone for himself. They've lost the way a little bit there, yeah? And so when I came here, everyone's letting everyone in. Hey, bro, how's it going? A little shaka, every day, fine. So I went back to DC, I was letting people in, and they're like, hey, what's wrong with you? Letting everybody in, right? So we can learn a lot about Aloha. We can learn Aloha, we can teach the world. It's a better way. We can also learn some urgency that we have over there. So there's a balance. Because we got some challenges in Hawaii, yeah? So, because a lot of people are leaving Hawaii. They're going to the mainland for jobs. They don't want to stay here, right? We want you to stay here and own this transformation. This is about you. This is your government. This is your state. These are your residents. This is your family, your relatives, your friends. That's what we're serving here. So that's what's exciting about this. I think that's a really important point that Pono made. To me, that's what I'm learning. I'm learning from Hawaii what I am, yeah? And I'll lose the jacket, but today I had to wear it because of another function, but I'm just saying. So that's important. I think the other thing is, this is what you're going to bring to the equation. You're going to learn a lot. What you've done today by just even coming onto the program shows me a fight and a hunger that'll get you far in life. It's all, you know, there are a lot of people who say, hey, look, I'm from wherever they're from, yeah? Look, I've got a degree from here, and yeah, I got all this stuff, yeah? They don't usually succeed. The people who succeed and what we look for, when I've hired so many people in my life, are the people who are willing to take a chance like you have. We're willing to go there and learn and improve. That's what we want. That's the people we hire. Those are the people who are successful. So you've already shown me that you are those kind of folks who are going to succeed. So bring that to the equation. Just learn. Attitude. People are more than willing to work with you to go forward if you're willing to solve problems. Then say, hey, look, you know, I came from here, it's Harvard, and a little bit of this, and all that doesn't matter. What matters is you have education. What matters is you're willing to learn. That's what matters, and that's what we look for. So I just want to let you know that it's so important what you're doing, and we are really, really inspired that you are choosing to do this. And just the last thing I'll just say is that just by the fact that you come here, you will learn a lot, and wherever you choose to go, and hopefully you stay in Hawaii, it'll be something that you will hopefully see that was a changing point in your life. There's something positive that you took out of this, that you came forward and you saw what's in there, because you'll open up some horizons for you. You will see how you look at technical problems. You will see how people problems is the hardest thing to deal with. That's why listen to Pono, listen to Randy, listen to others, but come up with your own ideas. You will see how to solve business process problems. You will see all kinds of things in front of you, and they'll come to you. Oh my goodness, all the stuff I learned in college, while it's good, you know, I got to bring some other skills. You will learn some skills, and these skills is absolutely essential. It's called experience. It's called life. It's called life's experiences. And once you have that character, it'll take you far. So I just want to just say that to you. You have just made a tremendous investment in this. And I think you are just on the right path, and we're so proud of you. So that's all I wanted to say, and let's do it with Aloha and make it happen. So thank you.
So we're going to break into groups. You know, the people in this room come from very diverse backgrounds, and I encourage you to find out those backgrounds. There are engineers in this room. There are business majors in this room. There's organization change management, graduate students in this room. You bring all these skills together and you can solve any problem. And you get to know these people, they're going to help you out and they're going to enrich you out and they're going to help us all. So, take this time to get to know each other. I talked to a number of you leading up to this program, and there were times I was just absolutely speechless in the room by the things that were said.
He was very excited. He came back, he's like, you won't believe what I'm doing. I want to hire them all. I'm like, bring them all then. So he was like, oh God, they're doing, this person knows this person knows that. So he's very excited.
I am very excited. But, okay, so we're going to break into groups, and I'd encourage all the counselors from the colleges to participate in the discussions.
4 or 5.
What's that?
Groups of 4 or 5.
Yeah, let's do groups of 4 or 5, and there's food in the back if you need water or some food. Thanks very much. And
do they have any questions? Do they have any questions for us before we break up?
Anyone have questions?
How did you end up here with all this knowledge at a big technology company, and what makes you choose to come to
So I got an email when I was in GSA, and when I was running some White House program. I got this email, and it came in and says, we want you to be the CI of Hawaii. Just click the PDF below. And I said, oh, this looks like a good malware attack. Good spear phishing campaign. I'm not going to connect. But it had some information on there, so it says, like, just contact this person. So I did my background check, knowing my background, where I'm from. Found out, like, oh, this person speaks with good English accent, so cannot be from that country. So, okay. Anyway, so I checked everything and found out it was Pierre Omidyar and his foundation that was doing a nationwide search. And because of my work at the White House and other places, they wanted me to be in the finals. So I was very honored. So I went to my boss, and I first had to go to the ethics office to see if I can do this. And the federal government said, yes, you can. And my boss said, if you're not going, I'm going. He's a surfer. So I said, no, wait, let me see what this is all about. So I came here, and I went through some interview process in the Final Four. So they ran me through the questions and all that, so I thought maybe, they just wanted to have someone, and they already chosen somebody else, and then they asked me to stay. And the next thing I know, I meet the governor, and I was very honored and privileged that they asked me to, so that's what the story is, and I've never regretted it. I mean, we got a lot of challenges here, but it's been a tremendous opportunity to learn, and I look at that, as I told you, when I was in college, I think I had all the answers. And when I came to a job, I learned to be humble, because I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know anything. I have 3 degrees, but I said, oh, I really don't know much, So if you bring that attitude, it's always been successful in life, and I'm learning a lot. And what has happened in Hawaii is we are just going forward. So you have a tremendous opportunity here, so never give up, but always check your spear phishing campaign malware. If someone says just click the PDF below, that's how I got it.
Any other questions?
Are there specific projects we could sign up for, and if not, at least just general departments?
Great question.
That's a great question, and I guess the answer to that is yes. We're not going to go through all the different projects that are out there today. We certainly don't want to overwhelm you on the first day. but we have 18 departments in the state. We have however many hundreds of attached agencies. And leading up to where we are today, we've been talking with these departments and the agencies to see who would be interested in teams to come into the departments and help out. And we just in the little work we've done, there's 20 to 30 different types of programs and projects. Some of these are tremendous in size. Some of them are more discrete. Some of them relate to Sunny's IT. IRM's Information Resource Management plan. Things such as an enterprise resource planning system, which will, by itself, if we put a system of this nature into the state, it's going to have dramatic, significant impacts in how everyone does work here. But that's a 5-year program. And there are many, I know there's project management folks in this room. There are many projects embedded within that huge program.
So Randy, I think if so, there are 10 programs
Yeah.
larger for the enterprise for the state. They're on the website, but there are the tax modernization, which is a new system how we modernize tax and revenue into the state. There's enterprise resource planning, which looks at human resources, finance management, asset inventory, acquisition, all that kind of stuff. There is what we call the Hawaii Broadband Initiative. We're trying to get to 1 gigabit per second for the entire state, for every household in the state of Hawaii by 2018. Can you imagine what kind of value that would be? Does anyone know what happened in Singapore? And everyone's seeing what's going on in South Korea? How come they're coming to the front of the line, yeah? It's education. It's all of you working together towards a job, a single purpose. It's all about broadband. So that's another program. Keone Kali runs that program. We're talking about education, helping out our Keiki up in the Department of Education. So that's a whole program. Health IT, big, hundreds of millions of dollars. There's $7 billion industry in Hawaii. You know, 200-300 million just on federal. A lot of federal money coming in. There's almost 300 million. I'm sorry, 3 billion. What am I saying? 3 billion and 300 million specifically in some areas. So those are programs in there. Infrastructure, getting to networking and stuff like that. How we're bringing in new stuff, bringing the latest technology. We're putting some stuff in there, right? So infrastructure, data center, those kind of things. Security and privacy. We're getting attacks. We're getting attacks from all the usual suspects. The latest attack came from one of the Russian areas where they're, you know, so we're watching that. And with my background, we have a lot of activity here, so every now and then you'll see some people come from federal, so we have some people here as well. Exciting. Cybersecurity is a big area of growth, and we're trying to establish a program. I'm also a graduate of National Defense University. It's a nation's war college, so we are trying to set up a program so you learn about cybersecurity. So that's another growth area. Applications, mobile apps. Karen Higa right here is running mobile app and web program. We have the latest website, which is based on responsive design, mobile first. So we're going to do 6 or 7 mobile apps. Dashboards and governance. There'll be dashboards coming out. You learn. So you are going to be exposed to absolutely the latest stuff that we're doing now because we're coming to the front. So you can choose from all of these, but just don't get excited by the technology. What you really got to learn is what Pono was talking about, some of the concepts of how people work. That's the secret sauce. Not many people figure that out. It takes them 30, 40 years. I used to have dark hair, and look what happened, yeah? So it takes a while, and I'm learning. Every time I don't come in there like, well, I know the answer, but you learn all about this balance between technical program management. You learn program management, you'll also learn how to deal with people. And the people who know all these other skills are the ones that get to the top, like Pono and others. And we are learning from that experience. So I'm just saying all these programs are exciting. So you will get to choose from all of these. As you can see, all the directors are already coming in, hey, I need to get some, you know. So they'll try to do that, and we'll run through all of that. But believe me, you'll have more opportunities than, and more things to do. So there's plenty of programs. But 10 programs is the big area, and then as Randy said, other opportunities exist. I hope we answered your question.
And we are going to ask you what your areas of interest are, and we're going to try to help you out in that direction. But Sunny mentioned the IT sort of related different programs and projects that are there, and probably for selfish reasons.
Yes.
But there are 18 departments, and they have not just IT challenges, they have business process challenges. They need to re-engineer those processes, and they may or may not relate to technology. But they are also very interested in teams to come in and just look at what they got and see if there's a different way of doing it that'll just improve and streamline those processes. And we have lots of interest in that area as well. So we're definitely going to get into that and narrow down the projects and identify what makes sense for this group.
I'll give you one suggestion. Do something that you really feel like you want to do, but do another thing that you have no idea what you're doing in that area. You'll learn a lot, because the stuff that we're talking about there, like business process, you have that thing on your resume, it goes a long way to the front. Someone says you actually had experience for 6 months doing this, it's worth a lot. So not just technology, you learn these skills. And if you learn some of the management things like Pono's talking about, that's even better. It's just keep your mind open is all I'm saying. Yeah. So,
Can I add something, Randy?
Yeah, sure.
Just to tack on to what Sunny just talked about balance. And when I give examples of myself, this is not to edify me, Sonny's not doing that either. It's actually recognizing something we call relevance. What it reveals is relevance. So 2 weeks ago, I was asked to be the guest speaker at the Chamber of Commerce for the Military Affairs Council. So I was the only civilian speaker. The rest of them were all the 4 stars of the military. And they were giving me 10 minutes to speak on Aloha. And so what I did was I took that 10 minutes, and it became a very strong talk. As soon as I left, right after my speech, I started receiving text messages from folks within the session. And then one of my board members, who's a doctor of Oceanit, Dr. Patrick Sullivan, called me, and he said that a 1-star general had come up to him. And that a meeting was being set up with myself and the Admiral of Pearl Harbor, as well as the Admiral of the Pacific Fleet. And then another progressive meeting with all the 4 stars of Pacific Command. That's the people who control the military in the Pacific. Because they pride themselves on being the best, well-trained facilitators, conflict resolution conveners. But that 1-star who came to ask my board member if they could set up a meeting with me alluded to the fact, he said, how could we not even know these techniques to be able to build relationships, to bring them together? And so what Sonny is talking about is really the skills, and even the highest trained level folks who pride themselves on being the best are now calling because of this relevance. It's not me, it's the relevance of the information that we're sharing and the experiences that we're bringing. So I'm just
agree with you.
I'm going to ask for Pono to give one more story. Sorry, Pono. But just to illustrate the nuance required in dealing with people, it's the mattress. So, the mattress story.
Yeah. So a lot of training that I've been doing lately, a lot, as part of economic development. The last thing that I usually talk about is where do we begin? Because there's a lot of training and information that goes out. But that's the last question, where do we begin? And so 3 years ago, I was asked to speak on a leadership panel at the East-West Center, the international fellows who had come from around the world, 40 of them. And this is a 10-year program, 10th anniversary. They're at the top of their game. So we spoke on leadership, and then I was the last speaker. You know, you had the president of the University of Hawaii, Robbie Alm, Randy Roth, and then myself. And I looked at this group and I said, so you want to be leaders? Okay. Christmas 2005, very difficult time in my life and my wife's life. I had a business and it was doing so poorly, I got hit by an IRS tax lien. They didn't take everything I had, they took everything I didn't have. It was hard. I felt so terrible, put my family at tremendous risk. For Christmas, my wife wanted a new comforter set. So I worked harder, as hard as I could. When Sonny talks about doing something you don't know, do something you don't know. I worked harder than I thought I could, so that I could just get my wife a comforter set. Christmas morning, she was so grateful. Takes the old one, folds it up, says, I'm going to take this to Goodwill. I said, I don't want you to do that. Why? Because I know there are people who can't afford to shop at Goodwill. Oh, you're going to give it away? Yeah, okay. Puts it on the floor. Next day, you're going to give it away, right? Yep. 5 days later, if you're not going to give it away, I'm going to take it to Goodwill. I am. It's my wife. 10 days later, it's just getting ready to sit down for dinner. Oh, can't wait to eat. You know, tonight would be a good. Before she's done, I'm out of my chair heading for that blanket. Pick it up, walk out of the house. She said, where are you going? I don't know. It's starting to get dark. Get in my car, start to drive. All of a sudden, every reason in the world why that blanket sat on my floor for 10 days started coming up for me. How do you give something away without stealing someone's dignity? What if I got to get into it with somebody physically? What if I got to get into it with somebody emotionally or verbally? What if they're on medication and they haven't taken it? What if they got AIDS and Spirit of Aloha? What if they stink? I mean, all this crap starts coming up for me. Now notice something. My floor, whose blanket? My blanket. Whose issues? My issues. doing to me? So I drive and I get to Alamoana Park and it's dark and I get out of the car and I give something away without hurting somebody. So I walk around and I find this couple under a lamppost just getting ready to sleep. Excuse me, could you use a blanket? Yes, sir. Would you allow me to give this to you? Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So I told these fellows, turned around, nobody to high five? Nobody to snap a shot, record the data, take a statement? Me working on me. I said, you folks want to be leaders? Me. Work on me. How hard is it to get 300 to 400 friends together on Thanksgiving morning to invite 2,000 people to the Blaisdell who are embarrassed they got it done? But someday they hope that they can do that in their own home. It's not saying that because it's bad, because it's not bad. I'm not saying that because it's not good, because it is good. I'm saying that because you want to be leaders. You want to be leaders. Me, work on. That's where we begin.
Right.
Thank you.
So let's break apart. Feel free to move the chairs around, get some food, some drink.